Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, I want to take a few moments to talk about a dear, dear friend who went to be with the Lord on this Lord's Day early this morning. It was strange this morning. I woke up a little bit after 3 a.m. with one person on my mind, and that was Tammy DeGraff. Tammy and Tim were my dear neighbors for umpteen years on Archway Road. Tim would come when the snow started. Before it even got going real good, was already on my driveway, cleaning my driveway off. Tammy was a pharmacist at the local hospital for who knows how many years, and she was also our head hospitality greeter at Rainbow Forest. She was the best hospitality person in all the world. She greeted everyone with a great smile, willing to help and take care of everyone. She was organized. She organized the greeters, and she was a dear, dear friend. Well, for several years, she's been fighting the battle with cancer and going through a terrific time, a terrific battle. But this morning, I got an email or a text message rather from her husband a little bit after 5 a.m. telling me that Tammy had won the battle. She had gone home to be with the Lord. And I thought that was so fitting on this Lord's Day. And I texted him back and said, I can imagine the Lord Jesus Christ. He was there to welcome, to greet her to heaven. And then we thought about how Earl Dalton and Sid Barker and Jerry Adams and Betty Furnett and so many others from Rainbow Forest that she had greeted, Clarence Leonard, so many others that she had greeted on a regular basis there at Rainbow every Sunday morning. They were waiting at the gates of heaven to say, welcome home, Tammy. And they must have had a reunion. I kind of imagine they even had a reception for her. Her special was, her homecoming was a special celebration. And we're going to miss her. Tim and the family are going to miss her. And I know that they'll be in our prayers over these next few days and weeks for sure. She had so many friends in so many places. And so we're going to miss her. I just want to take a few moments to think about how even Asaph here in Psalm 73. Remember, he was looking around at the world, seeing the prosperity of the wicked and how that seemed like they had no trouble. They were in good health and everything went fine for them. And he was plagued and hurting and always dealing with issues, and he was a little discouraged. But I love these next verses because in verse 15, something happened. He said, if I had said, I will speak thus before I go public with what I have been thinking in the above verses, behold, I would have been untrue to the generation of your children. In other words, I'm one of the leaders of worship here at the temple. What would happen if I begin to say, I'm having these problems with understanding how God doesn't deal with the wicked and he lets us righteous people be in so much pain and suffering? What would happen? What would the generation to come think if I came public with it? He said, before I said it, he says, when I thought to understand this, it's too painful for me. And I thought, wow, that'd be terrible if I did that. And then in verse 17, until I went into the sanctuary of God, then I understood their end. Surely you set them in slippery places. You cast them down to destruction. Oh, how they're brought to desolation, as in a moment they're utterly consumed with terrors, as a dream when one awakes. So Lord, when you awake, you shall despise their image. Thus my heart was grieved, and I was vexed in my mind. I was so foolish and ignorant, I was like a beast before you. He said, how crazy for me to be thinking the way I was thinking. My friend, when you get into the presence of God and you go to the sanctuary, you go to the place where the worshipers are, and you go to the place where you're seeing your holy God sitting on his throne, sovereign and holy and in charge of all things, everything changes. Your perspective changes, and you think, how foolish I was to think that the wicked had it better than I did, because look, their end, their dream comes to an end and they wake up in hell. But my friend, and people like Tammy, I'm telling you, you can wake up in glory, in the bliss of heaven, with all heaven welcoming you, because you know who your God is. You keep your focus on him and eternity, and your picture will change of looking at the things of this old world. They fade away. It all does. But heaven is forever. And my friend, that's where Tammy is today, and we rejoice with her family. At the same time, we grieve her homegoing on this side of heaven, but we rejoice with them too. Well, God bless you, and I trust these verses will encourage you to keep looking up to Jesus. God bless. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.